You're someone that's lost count of the amount of transformations you've done, and the thought of even stepping into changing your body shape haunts you, then this video is for you. Before we get stuck into that today, my name is Christian Hill. For those of you that are new here, I'm the founder of a coaching program called Ready for Anything. We basically help people that are in high pressure jobs be less stressed, be more calm, enjoy their life they've built, actually feel success instead of just focusing on metrics and financials. And I'm on day 17 of posting every single day for 30 days on this channel. It has been a grind. There's been so many days I've not wanted to do it, so many days I've not felt inspired, but it's taken me through a masterclass in YouTube, content creation, ideation, and I'm just learning so much from it. So thank you guys, and we're nearly at 1,000 subscribers at the point of this video, so make sure that you've hit subscribe to the channel. So let's get stuck into it. I had one of my friends on the podcast as a psychologist last year, and she said something that's always stuck with me. Small letter T trauma. Everyone thinks trauma is you've had a grenade thrown at you, you've lost a limb, you've been assaulted in some way, shape or form. That's like an extreme variant of trauma. However, putting yourself through rigorous transformations, fat loss phases, body transformation, photo shoots in an effort to change the shape of your body, there's a lot of toxic psychology that can come along with that as well. Burnout, relentlessness, mindlessness, all in an effort to do something that you actually feel awful doing because you don't actually fully understand it. So yeah man, if you're of the similar demographic to me, and if you're not, there'll be other things that shaped your beliefs surrounding body image, food, different things as well. But I'm just trying to paint the picture here that we are all being programmed from a very young age, and whatever your parents and your family and the people that you're exposed to are doing most is pretty much going to be what your belief system is going to be, whether you like it or not. One thing I want to make super clear is your upbringing doesn't define your destiny. You can change this, you can evolve this. However, if you're ignorant to this and you're very mindless and you just focus on surface level change, then it's always going to be there in your head, living rent free. This is why folk are in this constant cycle of chasing their tail, jumping from photo shoot to photo shoot, 12-week transformation to 12-week transformation. So this doesn't even affect people to actually become more overweight and have uncontrollable nutrition. It can actually instigate over control as well, where people actually do these cycles and then they think the only way that they can be consistent is that they have to be in this calorie deficit mindset where they're just constantly in a diet. And one of the hardest parts about this as well that really intensifies it is that everyone applauds it. So that you go and do this transformation, you put the picture up, you lose the 20 pounds to 30 pounds, you get shredded, you get lean, and everyone's there going, whoa, you look so good. And it's the same in everything in life. If you do something and you set a goal, no one ever actually sits down and asks you, how are you feeling? Like, how was that process? How did you find it? Everyone only applauds the outcome because everyone's so driven on goals that you should go and do a marathon, you should go and do this big transformation, you should go and build a business, you should go and do this thing to make more money. But then loads of folk are sat there once they get the thing going, I don't even like myself right now. I hate my life, what's going on? I feel so far away from who I want to be. And it's just quite a hard concept to get your head around, especially when so many people struggle with it. Everyone's applauding you and clapping their hands, and the people that are meant to be guiding you and helping with you either struggle with it or don't fully understand it. Depending on where you are at in your journey, how hardcore you've taken this, and how much trauma that you have from going through these processes, it's going to vary wildly from person to person. But we're working with a client right now who has been a hardcore transformation person, jumping to and from different things, done it for years, struggled with their relationship with food, binge eating tendencies, and they're also a self-proclaimed workaholic that is obsessed with their business and growing and pushing. So it's like the perfect cocktail to actually not have that great physical health. When they first came in and we were really getting to know them, understand them, we actually decided for where they were at and how extreme and all or nothing their mindset had been, that actually for the first few weeks at least, we just focus on the basics, actually portion control, food quality, the amount of meals that we're having in a day, and we actually remove all of the intense data tracking. Now this isn't me saying that tracking your calories is bad, tracking your activity is bad, having a strict meal plan is bad. That's not the case at all. But for some people, and depending on how emotionally aware they are and mentally aware they are, it's really going to vary as well. But for this person coming in, we just thought it was a good idea to create more space and build more trust, because the biggest thing that people are lacking is trust. You've had it knocked out of you and you've done these extreme ways and you've approached them through such an extreme lens that you've burnt yourself. You've actually got to the point where you've created not even scars, you've got open wounds there. And when people say certain words like tracking food or going for a transformation or doing a photo shoot, it almost like triggers this like, oh, like this horrible, awful feeling. And this person in particular really opened up and told us a lot about how every time they'd done these things, on the surface they were pretending that they were loving life. They were pretending that everything was great, which is only making matters worse, because in the background you're like a rabbit in the headlights and you're just looking at all these other people going through the same process as you, going, how are they enjoying this right now? How are they making this look so easy? Life's so hard for me. And the thing is, right, it's not actually that hard. It's your psychological state and the way that you're approaching it. But depending on how long you've been doing this for, how hardwired these beliefs are, and how you feel about yourself, it's going to take a while to unpack. And this is the part that people don't have a lot of patience with, and they're not willing to let go. Like, see, I've went through so many different changes in my business over the years. I went from being a personal trainer to a bootcamp guy to an online coach to a lifestyle coach to now a mental performance coach, and every single time I've reinvented myself, there is parts of me that I've had to let go of. There is things that I've had to stop doing. And see, when I've done that, sometimes it's meant that I've not made as much money. I've not had as much engagement. I've not had as many inquiries. I've had clients that have left because they've not agreed with the new way, right? So what I'm saying is, you have to be brave to step in, because ultimately, I'm not telling you to go and be mindless and give up control and let yourself gain 30 pounds a weight. Sometimes you do actually have to lose a bit of control and give it up and approach it through a different lens, and that's exactly what this person did. And they lost weight and they were able to gain momentum and they're feeling great. And the more they done this, and now they're actually starting to apply more intensity and they're starting to increase everything that they're doing, they're actually seeing momentum in so many other areas. But as you go through this, it really does psychologically affect you. It gets to the point where you honestly believe that everything has to be a certain way. Now, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. A calorie deficit is a calorie deficit. Tracking your macros is tracking macros. But there's this thing called a paradigm shift, right? And if anyone doesn't know what a paradigm is, go and look it up, right? It's basically a circle with several other circles around about it, right? Now, a paradigm shift is learning to look at the same shape from a different angle. Anyone can do any process. If you look at the world of business, there's so many different things. There's emails, short form content, long form content, funnels, paid ads, all these different things that you can do. And folk will swear by one thing. I swear by paid ads. I swear by cold outreach. I swear by funnels. I swear by click funnels, all these different things, right? And then people will be like, that doesn't work. It's not that something doesn't work, it's that the algorithm in your brain latches onto an idea in another way than it does another way. And what happens when you go through these like extreme transformations is that you create this reality. And it's something I actually said to a client earlier on. Everyone thinks that your reality is what you experience. Your reality is rendered by your beliefs. Like, so whatever you see and whatever you're going through is what creates your reality. So if you've had a toxic relationship with food, a toxic relationship with your body image, then guess what? You're probably going to feel very heavy when it comes to improving your health, and that's something that you need to work through. But working through it isn't just applying a mindless process. Working through it is learning to speak, learning to deep dive, learning to do shadow work like what we do with our clients. Working through it isn't turbulently going through the same process and expecting a different result, focusing on surface level things. What got you from A to B will not get you from B to C, and you have to go through a paradigm shift. And by the way, if this is something that you are struggling with, you're in a high pressure job, you're constantly stressed, it's going to make it 10 times harder to work through this stuff, because all of these other things can end up being enablers. And the funny thing is when you start diving deep like this, letting go, all of the areas that you've always wanted end up actually happening as a byproduct anyway. So if you're watching this right now, then this is you've tried countless things, but actually it's a lot of the same surface level stuff. You feel that you've got no time to do anything about it, you don't know what your next move is, and you want an approach that isn't only going to be surface level but also deeply psychological and ingrained into your career and your lifestyle, and you want to improve all these other aspects, then drop me a DM saying go, and we'll help you go through this, because this is so much bigger than you realise, by the way. So much bigger than you realise. And do you know what the funny thing is? If you're someone that is a self-proclaimed workaholic, a business owner, a career-driven person that obsesses over their career and you want all the best for your family, see, when you do this work on your health and you let go and you remove this like contracted state that you're always in, you make more money, you see more success, you become more creative, and you step into this person that's just such a more high frequency person. Because this isn't just about the weight loss, it's actually about what's going on in there. And there is a part of your central nervous system that is so bent out of shape mentally that you have not even acknowledged because of how much trauma and stress that you're actually carrying internally in your body. And it's heavy, man, it's heavy duty stuff, but it's not as simple as tracking your macros, hitting your steps, and going to the gym. For some people, it's a lot deeper. It's about learning to become that person that isn't just operating with there, but they're operating with there. Because see, when you can tap into that and you're not in this contracted, low energy, low frequency state, and you're feeling more expanded, creative, you're seeing things that you couldn't see. Everything just comes as a byproduct, and all of these processes that felt like you were trying to fit a square peg into a circle hole just start to become way more frictionless. So if you are interested in my help, drop me the word GO and let's talk. Let's start changing your life, and let's start actually getting your results that aren't just short-lived and only for 25% of the year, and they're actually going to transcend into everything else that you do. So make sure you've hit subscribe to the channel, and as always, if you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment below. I want to hear it, and see you later. Goodbye.